Today, I'm teaching you how to easily defeat the fire dragon on expert mode. Now this trick is so easy to do that I did it twice, so make sure that you watch the video all the way through to master this technique. Let's start with the basics. The way that this Ninjago update works is that everything counters something, and what I mean by that is that the dragon is a fire type enemy. So what we need to do is use an ice type weapon. So that way we're countering him and doing extra damage. What I recommend using is the bamboo shuriken with the ice storm relic, and we'll touch on that later. So what you want to do is go into your brand new mastery and then enter into the ice mastery section. And in here you want to ensure that every single one of your passive abilities is unlocked. The reason for that is so that these will work every single time that you're using an ability or a weapon that has anything related to ice on it. And speaking of your mastery, we don't want to go into our Ninjago mastery here. We want to go into our superpower area. And that's because the hunter class has the Omni Trap Trinket, which is still the most overpowered and best ability that you can use in the game, as it places down all of its traps at once and creates a massive powerful trap, which is very useful against an overpowered dragon. Now I know I come off like a broken record when it comes to farming essence, but still by far the best method is to find a spire on your map, make it weak, and then just continue to farm the enemies as they spawn. Once they're done respawning, use a bus station to leave and immediately come back. That will continue to spawn these enemies, dropping 50 essence at a time, and gaining all of that essence will help you go and ensure that you leveled up every single new mastery as well as the old one, because we do need the hunter's trinket. When it comes to that trinket, it uses stamina, so my best recommendation for you is to create energized cornbread or to simply use grilled corn. The reason for this isn't that it's necessary to use them, it's just a fail-safe and helps you. You're going to run into a struggle when it comes to your stamina when fighting the dragon early on, and eventually get used to using this trick. So early on, I definitely recommend using either the grilled corn or the cornbread as a fail-safe so that you don't use up all of your stamina and end up dying. Another extra boost that you guys can use while we are using a cornbread or a grilled corn in order to give us max stamina, if you can find one of these shrines out in the wild, you can dual stack your buffs now, which means that we can run this damage reflect at the same exact time as we're running our stamina boost. When you're able to find the dragon in the wild, make sure that you eat your cornbread or apply that max stamina and dive directly onto that dragon. From here, we're going to use 2 of the Omni Trap Trinkets. And the way that you want to use them against this dragon is to use both of them, or slide 2 times into him, and then use your base attack 2 times. Continue this pattern over and over again, because what you can see is happening to him is anytime he tries to use an attack, he gets stalled and can't attack us. You don't need to use this relic, however, it is very overpowered against him, because as I mentioned before, this is a fire type of enemy, which means using ice against him is only going to do more damage. So use the powered up relic in order to create a storm around yourselves, applying even more damage to the dragon. Another advanced tip that I have for you guys is when you're able to find a dragon, what you want to do is take that weapon that you have and make sure that you can get the boost ready to create that snowstorm. So what I did was I went out and I found a bunch of enemies here and I charged up my weapon. What this allows me to do is then use my secondary attack on the dragon to apply even more damage to him. So now that my weapon is fully boosted, I just want to kill these minions here, that way they're not in my way. From here, I make sure that all of my abilities are set up and land directly onto the dragon. Use my Omni Trap Trinket 2 times and then use my secondary attack. Like I said, you're going to do max damage to him because he's weak to ice. So you could see that I'm doing about 1,000 damage just about every second. While we could wait until we already had legendary weapons to attack the dragons, the one benefit to doing this early is that you'll gain access to the legendary Honed Bamboo, Honed Kazu Stone, Steel, and Dragon Opal. And if you guys didn't know, this gives you access to the most powerful weapons in the game, which will only make your attacks on future dragons that much easier. Not just that, this also allows you to complete the quest that is called Great Expectations by Lloyd. You need to create an 8-star ninja weapon, and we need a lot of that legendary oil in order to do so. And if you guys did not know, you can get very lucky when it comes to killing Lord Masters and getting yourselves that legendary oil. What I did here was I put luck onto my shuriken, and then I went out and fought one of the Lord Masters, who also takes extra damage to any type of ice damage. So what I received from him was 2 more ritual oils and a legendary power relic, which is going to help me again create the best weapons and equipment in all of LEGO Fortnite Odyssey's Ninjago update. One thing I don't want to be is misleading. This isn't perfect, and there are opportunities for you to fail, mess up, or simply make a mistake. I made plenty of them, because the way that this works is if you were to take even a single hit from the dragon, it's entirely possible that he one-hits you. However, if you're able to practice enough, or if you're experienced enough with these trap trinkets, you'll be able to prevent him from doing any attacks from getting to you. But for myself, it took me a few times. There were a few times where I wasn't using my traps quickly enough and he was able to get an attack off, and that ended up in me losing a few of my totems of return. But nevertheless, with enough practice, you guys can do this. Over the last few days, I've put out a few different guides for you to learn how to play in this Ninjago update, showcasing how to get to this stage of the game where you could then fight a dragon, and also just how to complete every single quest line or learn about every single new item in there. Make sure that you guys are watching those videos as you go and prepare to fight the dragon, as you want to make sure that you do have the knowledge on every new weapon, every single type of counter, and exactly why we need to use some of the items that we do. I hope that you all enjoyed today's video. This was one of the hardest challenges that I think we've faced. I definitely think it is a harder challenge than the Storm King, especially if you don't use this trinket trick, as it definitely is a bit of a trick. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, this was Crafty, and I'm out. Peace. Help me reach 100,000 subscribers by pressing the subscribe button down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and check out those 2 recommended videos as well. YouTube thinks you'll really like them.